previously on KIMBA TV. And so I've always told people, hey man, you need to understand what value is here. You need to understand what value is here. You need to understand what value is here. You know what I mean, brother? And all I would say is, if this is value area low, okay, then would I not be looking for value area high for a full rotate? In peace, maybe. Band-Aid. Smacky you says, nice gap. We're going up now. We would know. We want to see the RTH gap filled during RTH. So we want it to grab all that. Yeah, and then so maybe we're looking at like the single print. Yeah, so let's see if it fills the gap during RTH. Any questions? But yeah, if it actually fills the gap and then it gets above the open, that would be your dip the tip. Yeah, probably goes a little bit lower, right? Yeah, easy money. Maybe Band-Aid, what's going on? Smacky you says enter long. No, not yet. Yeah, so we just talked about it. You want the gap fill. Cream, Burbeezy, Joker, Petrus, how we doing? Y'all juicing like a motherfucker? Huh? Ricky, what's going on? Rick Zin. Pipeline, Chester M. Incognito. 1984, what happened? Damon, Repo, Petrus, Tia Goog, Mark, Latisse, Unleash. How y'all doing? Is my Bugatti clean? It better be, motherfucker. The juice is the juice. The juice is the juice. Catch her. Let's get it. Let's get him. Let's get him. Let's get him. Get they goofy asses. Get they goofy asses. Mark, what's going on? Rickson, Crypto Craze. Cream says 15-second alpha TA. I just gave it, so it just did the RTH gap fill. Alrighty. 83 says Soul almost touched point of control. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Show me you know what you're doing. Let's go, Lions. Let's juice the damn thing. Froweed, Chop House, Mark, Franz, Deep. Froweed, Fibmath, Damon, Latisse, Brutara, J Knock. We got Mark in the building. We got Brutara. We got Zaz. TTV says happy PPI. Hey, what we say last night, y'all. Don't run out of PP. Right, Cyrebe? Hey, don't run out of PP. Quit playing with me. Easy money. Anything is possible. The VWAP. The VWAP is very, very possible. Lock that bitch. Any questions, you guys? How we doing? I gotta switch the level, I think. 1 2 3 4 3 0. 1 2 3 4 3 0. Value is here and here. Easy juice. Y'all ready to juice? It's too easy. Lions, any questions? Happy Thursday, y'all. Math is the math and juice is the juice. Is everybody caught up? Man, this shit too easy. Has S&P changed since yesterday? Let's take a look at the data, my boy. You tell me. Yeah, a little bit. GEX is still at 63.55. So let's move this guy down because we didn't want to move him down yesterday, but now we have to. 64.30. Nope, that's still good, right? If anything, this should be at 64.30. So that's almost like pixel perfect. No, it's nothing's really changed. It's about the same. Yeah, still want to... Do you remember yesterday when we were talking about this? This might be the thing that's happening right now. I would like that lower one, but... Yeah, maybe it's an SFP of the VWAP. Kind of hard to tell right now. I need CME to close above the close. You dig? So right here. See where it says close? We need to try and get back above that. How we doing? Any questions? Jingao. Jingao says just got back from a 2-week miss out due to family issues. No worries. Let's go. Let's get it, Jingao. Easy money. Frenzy, thank you for the resub. How y'all doing, huh? Let's lock in. Oh yeah, let's finish this up. 64.45. I guess I want to see if it does this. That's what I want to see. If this can reclaim point of control, then we're good, I think. Just trying to change your life. All right, any questions? How we doing? Y'all juicing? Exclamation prepared. Exclamation math. 30-minute candle close in 10 minutes. Talk to me, y'all. How we doing? Ladies and gentlemen, what perfect timing yesterday to talk about pullbacks and not getting got. But also, I mean, that's easy money, Bugatti money, y'all. Yeah! Get these goofy goofies. Get the goofy goofies. Let's get it. Let me know if you guys have any questions. The GOAT 3211 says, do you think high PPI is going to push back rate cuts? Well, we've been talking about it all week, GOAT. What I would recommend that you do is go back to the Monday stream. And if you need help breaking it down, I can do it. But I asked you guys to think about all the different ways people would start to say, hey, you know, we got to do an emergency rate cut. Or, hey, we don't need to do a rate cut. And not only did I do that exercise with you guys on Monday, we did it yesterday too. Remember that? So think about everything that we talked about yesterday, GOAT. And think about why we did this exercise, thought exercise yesterday, not today. That question that you asked right now, GOAT, we were already asking it yesterday. All right, so if you want, think about all of the sort of breakdown that we did on Monday and then yesterday. So what would be the CPI or the PPI number that you would want to see if you want rate cuts. If you don't want rate cuts, and remember, what would make somebody like Jerome Powell go, oh, fuck, the economy is fucked. We got to give people free money. People are fucked. We got to help out. What would be something else that would say, maybe we don't need to do rate cuts. We're actually not doing too bad. So, and the other thing that I would want you to think about is it reverse psychology or is it reverse? I don't know if you got to see the thing that I was sharing, but a lot of people are saying the market is pricing in rate cuts. So what does that mean for you? Have you ever been here for FOMC event when something was already quote unquote priced in? So obviously today is PPI, it's CPI, PPI week. My biggest confluence would be what? And what have I been wanting to do all week on this thing? So for me, it's going to be a matter of, do we get rejected here or do we not have follow through? This is one of the places where we wanted a long, right? So is this just like a dead cat or are we actually going to be able to get above point of control? So that's how I would, start with. I still think this is the first area that I would want to long, but it's up to you guys. But somebody was asking, has anything on S&P changed? Not really. Yeah, but could this have been like a valid SFP VWAP long? Sure. And what do you think about this, motherfuckers? Huh? Are we going to get this? So we'll take it level by level. You dig? Step by step. You feel me? No, don't even go to the remix. Boo Gamma Mama, how we doing? Gucci Romo. No, Dia Beta. We had to chase the S&P. Yes. Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, but this is the same protocol, 7505, front running the golden pocket, getting turned into support. Yes, let me know if you have any questions. Invalidation is the lower low. Yes, I put the invalidation all live. So, and we pulled the fib, and that's kind of your trident. That's like your last go. Yes. Any questions? You good? Sliced bread. Fupa. Dragon King. Gucci Romo. Boogamma Mama. Take my Fupa says, I think I'm going to place a long right now. Yeah, it's tricky. The long is going to be good if the S&P golden pocket here is going to get turned into support, because then you're going to have a chance for a higher high. Right? That's ultimately going to be the best thing that you could possibly get. I think now that you clean the bad low on CME, because look, now the tail is good. And if you look at the candle closes, you never lost the gap fill. So yeah, I think the long is good. Yeah, but in 5 minutes from now, let's say that it does this. And then in 5 minutes from now, somebody longs $100 million right there. That's probably not going to help you out. If we do come back like this and value area low doesn't hold, then the long is probably not good. And I don't think the long is good if S&P doesn't, turn this bitch into support. 7505 rotation is okay, so we need to see something like this and not like this. But same shit. What about Sol? What about it? As long as we stay really like that's your sectional value area low. This is the big value area low, and then that's like your point of control and volume nodes. So those are your three levels. If you lose that, then yeah, 183 is for sure going to come into play. Probably lower. Everybody's going to try to long 183. Yeah, but if it really is bullish, it'll take the smaller value area low and it'll front run everybody that's waiting for that shit. Yeah. So breaking through here, but eventually somehow, some way, breaking above here would be your first sign of strength. When you go up really fast, you go down really fast. When you go down really fast, you can also go back up really fast. So, yeah, man. If we can get above here, we're good. So you're still bullish? Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna be looking for, I don't know if you were here earlier, but I was even talking about maybe we should do some altcoin nerd out later tonight. Yeah. If you were here in the very beginning of the morning, I was going through all the altcoins and there were a couple where I was like, oh shit. Maybe some of these are going to be longs today. So, yeah, just trying to, just trying to be patient, do the right thing, man. That's what I'm trying to do today, man. How y'all doing? Who's XJ says it's already been 5 hours? Yes, let me just kind of answer some of the questions that you guys have. Castillo, you good? Ventura says, do you like Hyperliquid to trade there? Sure. Yeah, I have multiple Hyperliquid accounts. Yeah, we're going to have some co-streamers joining, and they'll be using my account. So keep an eye out for that. I forget who has my Hyperliquid assigned to them, but you guys will see. 60, Yaya, Mark, Gucci, Dragon King, Arc Soul says sidelining right now, so just learning. Nice, nice. Yeah, it's interesting because this is at a very, very pivotal point. Very, 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 very pivotal point. We should actually just be watching CME 5-minute. If we can get above this and this, oh my God, structure changes in. So for the next 90 minutes, everybody is probably going to be watching those two levels. Wiztar says, I just came back. Hopefully I didn't miss much. Yeah, no, you didn't miss much, brother. It's just gap filled. You know, we've been waiting for this and talking about this for quite some time. And so this is a great day to kind of let you understand. So like for somebody was asking about it earlier today, for example, it was a great question. Why do I have this assigned as the gap fill? Why do I have this as the gap fill and not something like the close? Right? We talked about that. What's the difference between doing this and doing this? What's the difference between if this were single prints, doing this and doing this? So that's kind of like one RTH thing that you could kind of maybe take away from today. I think that's juicy juice. Understanding and being patient for 30-minute candle closes. I think that's a big one today. Shout outs to everybody that's being able to do that. Yeah, Logie says, why is it teasing so much the fucking gap earlier forward, now 200 with the flush? Yeah, we don't want it to go all the way down there. You know what we want? Go. Like change, like it might not do that, but like, start doing this shit. Yeah, otherwise, if they maintain this, I don't think you should even bother with that, to be honest. Don't you want the single print and then close everything? So I hope it goes. You think I'm going to get stopped out on the S&P long? You got it. All of them but one. Okay. That makes sense. All right. Well, it is what it is, y'all. It is 23 minutes until power hour. How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? Are we locked in? Are we locked in? 10,000 hours? Yeah. But yeah, just the thing about it is, I anticipated, I was ready, I knew what I wanted to do. I didn't get what I wanted, and I was still able to put myself in a position to play out the math. You know, so I had my bias, I wanted lower, but obviously I trusted the math. I've seen enough 7505s, enough CVD divs, where I just said, okay, well, we don't have enough good order flow, but fuck it. Not really fuck it, but we just didn't have order flow. But it is what it is, you know. I knew that I wanted a long. I knew that it was going to look a little bit bullish. I wanted lower, but we had a plan A and plan B and plan C. And so we still ended up executing. We have managed risk. So because of the hesitation and not taking it from lower, our probability, even if we're right about longing this, the entry isn't that great. So the probability of getting round tripped, stopped out, leaving us behind is higher, but that's the give and take with the pussyfooting and the waiting that we did. You know, we got a little bit of a higher probability, right? Because it bounced all the way and broke through golden pocket. But the entry is a little bit shittier. So risk, reward, more risk, higher reward, less risk, less reward. So it's proportionate, it's okay. But the fact of the matter is, we executed, we got it, and if we did, you know, if it works out, we don't get stopped out and we can juice, awesome. If not, it's a free roll. Any other questions? On a scale of 0 to 10, how has your week been? What'd you guys think about today? How many of y'all had a day where maybe it didn't go exactly the way you wanted it to, but you're still locked in? You have tempered yourself from turning into a bitch ass. You know exactly what you want to do a little bit differently next time. I'm not even going to say you know exactly what you did wrong, because it might not be that you did something wrong. You just need to do something a little bit differently. So, you know, tomorrow you have another shot. I mean, goddamn, there's plenty of 7505s. So you have another shot. We've got some VWAPs. Markets are closing in 16 minutes. All right. And then we've got the weekend coming up. But let's lock in. Subathon this weekend, starting on Saturday or maybe Sunday. What do you guys think? How many of you guys would be here for a start of a weekend subathon? I think starting or doing the nerd outs over the weekend is the best, because who gives a shit about the price action? Meaning, if we had to completely ignore the price action during the middle of the week or during the weekend, which one would you prefer to miss out on? It would be the weekend one. So imagine trying to do like a serious nerd out while there's market volatility because of, you know, like a press conference or earnings or some shit like that, you know? We would have to stop, come back, you know. Kimba After Dark nerd out is probably a good idea too. Yeah. Hannah Montana says 8 out of 10. Repo says I'm learning so much stuff. That's fucking awesome. Me too. Vlad says 6 out of 10. Hey, think about one thing that could have made it a 7 out of 10. And let's focus on that. Let me help you on that. And then next week, let's do a 7 out of 10. And then next week, same thing. You pick one thing that it could have made it an 8 out of 10 thing. The next week, we'll focus on that and we'll try to make it an 8 out of 10. Actionable improvements. Let's get it. Chris BX, 4 out of 10? Why? What happened? Well, same thing for you, brother. Hey, Chris, make sure, did you lose a little bit? I'm going to send you like $800 to $1,000 next week. So all you got to do is show up, okay? Chris, you get slapped around a little bit? That's okay. That's okay. My lion body is covered in crazy scars, bro. You're supposed to get slapped around. Yeah. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help you. Is there anything I can do to help you? Are you enjoying, is the S&P scalping, is it even Gucci? Chris? Is the S&P scalping helping or not really, because you don't really trust the Bugammas as much as I do? Maybe you need the Bugamma nerd out first and then you can start trading some S&P with me? What's one thing that I could do to help you feel more comfortable about taking like S&P or NASDAQ trades? And that question applies to everybody. And I don't know everything, so we can all kind of learn together, nerd out on some shit together. But tomorrow is Friday. Wrong person says, my week was 8 out of 10. I juiced on a lot of knowledge. I should have saved a lot more and put better stop loss because I lost a lot of profit on the way down, but in general it was great. That's okay. That's okay. Yep. There's a couple of... I'm really excited to do what I would call like the art of TP. And like different ways that you can think about what a TP means to you to help you execute said TPs. AKA how you can stop from being a greedy son of a bitch. Yeah, and like if you really think, we've talked about this for 4 years, chat. Why is it that you get so hung up and you really start to get greedy? You just can't shave even a little bit. You know, you probably don't trust that you can get a juicy trade like that again. Kind of like a motherfucker that cannot get out of a toxic ass relationship. You're just hanging on, hanging on. Maybe he's gonna change. Maybe she's gonna change. You can't draw a line in the sand and say, hey, below this, I gotta get the fuck out. Hey, above this, I gotta get the fuck out. Hey, she or he crosses this line, I'm done. You gotta have that line in the sand and you gotta execute. So I think the best way to feel like you don't have to fucking get married to a weekend trade, you know, somehow, some way it was supposed to be a one night stand. Now you have 3 kids with her. What the fuck? You know, somehow, some way you were supposed to get stopped out at break even. Now you're about to get liquidated. I mean, what the fuck is going on, man? You need to understand that there's trades all over the place, and you do not need to be doing this. But I have such a great entry. Yeah, but you're gonna give it all back. So you must not think highly of yourself. You must not really think highly of yourself as a trader to be fucking pissing away 30, 40, 50, 60% of your trade and still holding on. Like letting a trade come all, like maybe come all the way back without shaving at all. Letting it come below 50% is like letting a chick cheat on you like twice. Think about that. If you let your trade pull back lower than 50%, you're letting your girl cheat on you at least twice. What's up with that? So you better have a really like, you got to have something going on. Like, because you've pissed away 30, 40, 50% of max profits. Mark says not so funny though. It's not supposed to be funny. I just said, hey, I'm going to give you guys a couple different ways to think about these things. The thing is you would never do the real life equivalent of whatever you're doing in trading. So maybe you need to start thinking about what you're doing in trading in real life perspective. You know? Like, would you ever let your girl like lose 40% of the trust that you had in her? I think that's fucked. Yeah, but I think obviously everybody is an individual and there's different psychological factors that come into play, but you really want to think about, why am I so greedy? Why am I still in this trade even though I have already pissed away 60% of the profit that I could have had? You know, this has pulled back to the golden pocket and I haven't shaved yet. And here is my dumb ass hoping that the golden pocket is going to bounce. And really the kicker is, it's not that you let that happen. It's that you let that happen over and over and over and over and over again. That's the problem. And you haven't adapted. It would be different if you were like, dog, I got round tripped again, but I shaved 10% extra this time. KIMBA, I got round tripped again, but it was only 40%. I only had 40% left. So it's really just about the incremental improvements and making sure that you don't make the same mistake over and over and over. You don't get got the same way over. I think that's really like the name of the game, you know? Wrong person, trilogy. Anyways, everybody has their own journey and progression, you know? Everybody has to learn from their own mistakes. We all learn at our different pace. So, you know, that's why, like, at the end of the day, y'all, it's not about being right or wrong. We all have an opportunity to juice. It's really about doing the right thing. Longers, I'm rooting for you. Shorters, I'm rooting for you. Bulls, bears, we're all lions. 7 minutes until U.S. markets close. I like what I'm seeing with S&P. What did you guys think about today? Shall we let us up? All right. And there's a lot of altcoins that, you know, we probably need to look at because there's going to be some opportunities to get in a little thangity thang. So, all right. Lock in, stay safe. Longers, I'm rooting for you. Shorters, I'm rooting for you. Bulls, bears, we're all lions. Hey, can I get a kachaya?